Honest answer, everyone. I never understood the admiration and love that Clone High got when it came out. Part of that was because I was 3 when Clone High aired. The other part is I never made time to sit down and watch it. I always thought, okay, cool, it's a one-season parody of the high school drama trope. A trope I never really watched or dipped my foot into. So why does Clone High garner so much praise? I found my answer in 2023. I sat down for a total of 2 days, yippee-yi-yi-yo'd the series, and was busting my gut all the way through.
Ha ha ha! I'm Mr. J, and nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys! Wah!
So, in this video, I'll be going over what Clone High is about, what happened to the series, what I think of the beginning of the revival, and why I enjoyed Clone High as a whole. Clone High is centered around the clones of Abraham Lincoln, Joan of Arc, John F. Kennedy, Mahatma Gandhi, and Cleopatra, taking place in the fictional town of USA. The clones attend Clone High High School. The reason there's a school full of clones of famous figures from history is because the clones are part of a military experiment ran by the secret board of shadowy figures. In charge of the school and the students' welfare is Dr. Cinnamon J. Scudworth, the school's principal, and his vice principal, Mr. Butlertron. The clones deal with the ups and downs of average teenage life and their assorted mental baggage. And as that plot thread is going on, Scudworth tries and fails to get his half-baked plans off the ground while the board holds the sword of Damocles over his neck. Clone High parodies the teen drama genre. The teen drama genre is a subcategory of the drama genre, in which the tone is more serious and less humorous compared to most other media. The genre as a whole consists of conflict from any facet of life and a resolution to the conflict presented. So, speaking truthfully, my knowledge of teen drama media extends to the first season of the original Ghost Rider and Invincible. Since I already said to you Clone High is a parody, you could have already guessed that the series takes the genre, flips it on its head, and laughs in the face of it. And you'd be exactly right for thinking along those lines. I mean, each episode starts out with a very special introduction, a staple of when a drama or any other genre wants to cover a serious or controversial topic. To fit everything in a nutshell, the genetic replicas of famous people go around doing wildly outlandish things like any teenager would, all while making a mockery of any overly serious topics that teen dramas have done in the past. And the B-plot is a bunch of stone-faced military officials putting government assets and trust in the hands of a flaccid pancake of a human being and his robotic British manservant. This leads me to my next point. How could a show with a concept so simple and so gut-bustingly hilarious get the plug pulled on it? Gandhi. To avoid making this a whole history lesson, the low-effort animation commentary community has beaten into the ground, here's the short and sweet version. Clone High never aired in India, but due to the power of the internet, the native citizens found out, and to put it nicely, they weren't happy. I don't know any of the major specifics, but what I do know is that Mahatma Gandhi is a beacon of nonviolent protest and emotional maturity to the people of India. One would think, from the controversy, that negative press is good press, right? Yeah, not in this case. Some officials and politicians of India held a hunger strike to revoke India's MTV license. Contrary to prior belief, not all publicity is good publicity. So MTV scrubbed themselves clean of Clone High and any traces of it so they wouldn't lose their broadcasting license. I really want to retort with a snappy remark or a witty comeback to this entire situation, but that would not add anything meaningful to the discussion. Instead, I'll share my 2 cents. I don't blame MTV for their decision to can Clone High, and I don't fault Lord and Miller for their portrayal of Gandhi. The way I look at it is Clone High's team was having fun, and they didn't know the ramifications of jabbing at Gandhi's image. And MTV, for all the faults and problems it has, probably has to walk a fine line like everyone in the entertainment industry. And they have to stay inside a set of guidelines to keep themselves out of trouble. What I know so far is everyone in various facets of the entertainment industry walks a rickety tightrope to achieve their goals. If the network doesn't appease the irresponsible people who have an ounce of power, they lose their broadcasting rights and/or a good chunk of their sponsors. And if the team behind the production of a show doesn't meet the arbitrary criterion made by the network or whomever is in charge, then everything is either tossed away or done from scratch. In other words, compromises are a pain in the tuchus. So, however it happened, someone leaked the unfinished first episode of the revival. I don't know how, I don't know why, and I am not going to stir up the pot. My thoughts are that the first episode is serviceable. It's a little jarring looking at the redesigns, slightly cringe-inducing on how they tried to tackle a big topic like cancel culture on their first episode, and I don't know if this is just me, but I'm feeling slight cognitive dissonance with the main cast. I'm giving the team some leeway though. It's their second shot. Complaining about all the changes made isn't going to make it better. Even if the topic of cancel culture should have been saved for a 2-parter, I say they did their best. The Clone High team is getting another chance to get themselves off the ground, and they're going to have to make compromises and sacrifices to see the rest of this dream come to its conclusion. And I don't know why some people in the commentary community have a bug up their butt. The word unfinished is called unfinished for a reason, you absolute walnuts. Unless you're going to take responsibility and make a better pilot that doesn't offend anyone, works within the guidelines of the network, and appeases the target demographic enough to entice them to keep watching, then why are you complaining about it? I don't have that answer either, because I'm not good at writing scripts for animated TV at this point. So I say, let's see where the revival takes us. For what it's worth, Clone High is pretty funny. I don't know what the budget was, and I won't rat on Clone High's animation. In my opinion, the dialogue and the characters are what carried the entirety of the show. The double entendres, the innuendos, and the blunt dialogue exchanges caught me off guard. My favorite joke had to be in episode 8. For context, Abe wants to show everyone at the back of the pie factory his 8-inch Lincoln replica. But he presents it with such dramatic irony that everyone just stops and follows him to the back with curiosity. My favorite episode was episode 9, Raising the Stakes, a rock opera in 3 acts. It has a message about drugs without being cringe-inducing, a timeless look at how people will react to them, a boppin' musical score, and Jack Black. You spoil me, Clone High. You spoil me. For the last episode I'm quickly discussing, I don't know why, but episode 11, Snowflake Day, a very special holiday episode, just resonates with me for some reason. All I can think is, Clone High team, how dare you predict the social climate 20 years later? It's funny and unsettling, because we were jabbing at the short-sightedness of individuals trying to put everything into a melting pot. But lo and behold, 20 years later, and that's our reality. Putting that last bit aside, I say all of this because for all the zany, crazy, and outlandish things that happen in Clone High, it's a grounded and emotional series with heart. When a series, like Clone High, doesn't take itself too seriously, and doesn't make itself too unbelievable with the drama, it's memorable in a good way. Clone High has these tangible moments of emotion that, while it feels silly or odd in that instance, feel real in a way. And in those moments of emotion the writers wanted you to feel, it cements the need and desire that you empathize with, relate to, and want to watch the main characters win in the end. I don't know about everyone else's opinion, but that's what I got from Clone High. So with the video coming to a close, here are my final thoughts. If you can suspend your disbelief, your knowledge on history, and put aside the urge to be a prudish little child, then you're in for a good time with Clone High. If not, then crawl back under the rock from whence you came. Nobody sane complains about a TV show and lets that negativity run their entire life. That's called letting it consume you, being a Redditor, or a suboptimal YouTube animation, commentary, and essayist channel. I, for one, enjoy Clone High, and am looking forward to what the team behind the revival of Clone High brings to the table. It's not every day you see a show that was abruptly snapped from existence getting a second shot. And if you're not ready for this, then too bad. None of us are ever ready for the concept that we call life. I'm Mr. J, telling you to have a day.